What makes Curacao special among Caribbean islands? In a word, authenticity. For centuries, locals have forged a vibrant and rich culture rooted in history and hospitality. Their heritage is both European and African, representing more than 50 nationalities. Almost everyone speaks Dutch, Spanish, and English, as well as a local language called Papiamento, a colorful Creole dialect. Today on Carib Nation, we turn the spotlight onto this tiny island in the South Caribbean. To help us uncover its many wonders, we are joined by two Curaçaonians who know a thing or two about this secluded slice of paradise. The Executive Director of the Curacao Tourist Board, Miss Evita Nita, and Mr. David Dick, the Curaçao's Commissioner of Tourism. Bon Bini, welcome to Curacao, is up next on Carib Nation.
When America wants to know what's happening in the Caribbean diaspora, there is one clear choice.
Hello, welcome to Carib Nation.
Both people inside and outside are
very excited about today's program.
Looking at you, I can tell that you have traveled the journey.
We are one people.
Colin Powell,
Shaggy,
Sherry Lee Ralph,
Harry Belafonte,
Earl Graves,
Sekou Toure,
Dave Chappelle,
Heather Headley,
Patrick Ewan,
Rick Fox.
Just a few reasons to celebrate June as National Caribbean American Heritage Month.
Celebrate the rhythm of America.
Celebrate June as National Caribbean American Heritage Month.
For more information, go to CaribbeanAmericanMonth.org.
You're watching Carib Nation Television.
Edition of Carib Nation. In our continuing effort to bring you the many wonders of the Caribbean, we travel south to the largest of the ABC Islands, Curacao. Curacao is the most Dutch of the Caribbean Antilles and the most colorful, with its restored mansions and tiny houses painted in a burst of pastel and bright colors. The capital is Willemstad, one of the 6 UNESCO World Heritage Sites in the Caribbean, joining the ranks of Old Havana, Old San Juan, and the colonial Santo Domingo. We begin our journey of uncovering Curacao with a visit to Curacao Tourist Board. Ms. Evita Nita is the Executive Director. Bon Bini to Carib Nation.
Thank you.
Your island is very well known all across the world as a beautiful place with beach and sand. What else do you offer the tourists when they come here?
Curacao is a very rich island in terms of the attractions, the natural resources, and also its people. I think Curacao is one of the islands whereby you have a lot of nationalities living together in harmony for years. So I think these are the major strengths of our island.
So that means your people speak many languages.
Yes.
And tourists come from across the world will feel at home that they can speak their language. Is that it?
Yes. In the case of Curacao, it's, let me say it like this, it's different. When people come to Curacao, we speak their language. When we go outside, We speak their language again.
Now, Curacao is part of the Dutch, known as the Dutch Antilles in the Caribbean.
Yes.
But they say Curacao is the most Dutch of the Antillean islands. Why is this so?
Curacao, I think, as part of its history, has a lot of the Dutch heritage on the island. It starts with the architecture, with the people living on the island for years, from Europe, especially from Holland, as well. But you can see a lot of the Dutch heritage and the historic part on the island still. You can see it from the downtown area, the land houses, whereby you can find part of the slavery history. So there.
I heard you have a museum. Can you tell us a bit about Slave Museum and what is in it?
Yes, the Slavery Museum is a place in Curacao. It's at the one of the local hotels. It's a very different museum where you can find the whole history of the slavery since its beginning, and up to its end. And I think it's one of the museums that are totally different. You can't find it anywhere in the Caribbean, not even in this hemisphere. But it gives you the whole history of slavery in the past years.
What other kind of features do you have in your tourism? For example, diving. Tell us a bit more. Why is it that you are very important for tourists who are interested in diving?
Curacao has one of the best dive sites, I would say, on the world. People from all over come to dive to Curacao. There are certain parts that, for example, on the eastern part of the island, also on the western part of the island, that are unique, that are very unique. They are being protected. Some of them, it's very difficult for people to get there, but still you can have very easy onshore diving with very nice, let's say, underwater world. So it's something somebody should see for itself to be able to value what they see.
Now, the United Nations, specifically UNESCO, have recognized and have given Curacao the honor as naming Willemstad, your capital, as a World Heritage Site. How did this happen? What does it mean for your tourism?
It means a lot for tourism because basically it helps us promote Curacao as one of the oldest cities in this area, and also the fact that Curacao is maintaining, let's say, this part of its heritage. Basically, most of the buildings downtown are being renovated. They're being restored so that we can protect and keep our Willemstad area as it is.
In the tourist industry in the Caribbean, cruise ship tourism has become very important. How important is it for Curacao, and what kind of facilities do you have that make the cruise ship tourists feel at home and receiving the best of attention?
Cruise tourism counts for more or less 300 people that visit Curacao annually. We do have 3 shipyards on the island. You have a mega pier as well, where bigger ships can be docked. Basically, we do have a lot of attractions. Normally, visitors from cruise ships during morning hours go to see, let's say, the different attractions on the eastern and western part. Some go to the downtown area for shopping, because shopping in Curacao is also excellent.
Can you tell us more about that, about the shopping?
Basically, you have also shops from different types of high upper scale products that are sold downtown here. People from especially South America.
We are one people.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
Mervyn Dimely,
Marcus Garvey,
Malcolm Gladwell,
Rihanna,
Edwidge Danticut,
Shirley Chisholm,
Bert Mitchell,
Sheila Jackson Lee.
Adonal Foyle.
Just a few reasons to celebrate June as National Caribbean American Heritage Month.
Celebrate the rhythm of America.
Celebrate June.
National Caribbean American Heritage Month.
For more information, go to CaribbeanAmericanMonth.org.
When America wants to know what's happening in the Caribbean diaspora, there is one clear choice.
Hello, welcome to Carib Nation.
Both people inside and outside are very excited about today's program.
Looking at you, I can tell that you have traveled the journey.
One television organization brings America close to the people, stories, and events that affects Caribbean life. Get close, get answers, get Carib Nation.
Now, in the Caribbean, there's a lot of competition between Bahamas, Jamaica, Barbados, Antigua, and Dominican Republic and Curacao, even within the Antilles, St. Martin and Aruba. Now, there's a lot of talk in the tourist world, in the industry, about multiple destinations. That is, if I'm coming as a tourist, I do so many days in Curacao, so many days in another country, and I sort of go mix it with ecotourism and other kinds of tourism. Have there been agreements? Are you considering working on such agreements with other Caribbean countries or tourist boards?
As a matter of fact, Curacao is part of the Caribbean Tourism Organization. So that means that in terms of the Caribbean, we are doing a lot together with the other islands through this organization, through the CTO organization. Separate to that, we do have some agreements with certain islands. For example, I just this morning sent out an email to my colleagues from Bonaire, Aruba, St. Martin, Statia, and Saba, in order to set up a meeting whereby we can discuss certain issues. For example, how can we do joint marketing, work on airlift together, work on the product together. So basically, we are trying to set up a consistent relationship with the Netherlands and Antilles Islands as well.
And now there's a new airlines that has emerged from Curacao. That will help you with your tourist industry?
To the Insular.
Yeah, Insular.
Oh, well, Insular is indeed an asset for Curacao. It helps us.
Tell us how it will help you in the tourist industry.
Okay, in terms of tourism, it will help with improving the connections. Insul has flights to, for example, Miami, to Venezuela, to St. Martin, Bonaire, so you name it. So it's one of the most important airlines, local airlines currently. We believe that it helped us improve connections between the islands after DCA, which was the national airline, went bankrupt. So for Curacao, it has been, let's say, an asset that we have this addition to the total capacity of air seats to the island.
Now, both Holland, historically the people in Holland, and also recently President of the United States speaks a lot about the green industry, the environmental industries. Now, is Curacao also in the area of ecotourism?
We do have the western part of the island.
The western part of the island.
Yeah, the western part of the island, which we try to preserve as much as possible the way it is. You have a lot of nature in that area, and whatever development we allow in that area must be part of the nature environment. So most of them are eco lodges, eco resorts, so no big developments. Maybe you already saw the island a little, whereby you can see that there must be, let's say, a development which is in line with the total heritage, the history of the island, a lot of nature, let's say nature lodges in the western area, and most of the other developments are in the eastern part, so whereby some visitors from the different islands, they can find whatever they want. For example, if you want to be in a very quiet and nature environment, you go to that part of the island. And when you want to have enjoy more, let's say, enjoy nightlife, you want to have much more activities, be among people, you can enjoy the eastern part of the island, which has a lot more of, let's say, shops, activities, restaurants, whatever that you need to enjoy your visit to the island.
When we think of tourism in the Caribbean, very often we think of the hurricanes in Haiti and Grenada and so forth.
Yeah.
Curacao has not, from the knowledge we have and what we've read, doesn't seem to have been hit a lot by hurricanes.
No. Curacao normally is out of the hurricane belt, so we don't experience, we haven't experienced any hurricanes. For example, personally, I have never experienced one on the island, but sometimes we do have, let's say, bad weather, which is a consequence of hurricanes passing near the island, but not hitting the island directly.
So it's a safe haven.
It's a safe haven for hurricanes.
Lastly, you are aware that there is a financial crisis globally. It's hit all the industries in the world.
Yeah.
And we have heard of in Bahamas and other places that there have been some kind of drop in tourist arrivals.
Yeah.
How has Curacao been navigating this global crisis? How have you all been doing?
We have seen a small drop. In terms of people, let's say visitors, we have seen a decline of 1% overall. So that's that's a very small percentage. The main drop is from the U.S. market. There we saw a big drop of 25%.
25%.
Yeah, but that has been compensated by increases from Europe and also from South America.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. But the most important issue, I believe, is the fact that we do have visitors from the 4 main areas. Once, when it's going, let's say, bad in the U.S.
Those 4 areas one last time.
We receive visitors from Europe, from South America, from the Caribbean region, and also from the U.S., so U.S. and Canada.
U.S. and Canada.
So basically now you can see that the U.S. and the Canadian market is performing, let's say, poor, but there is a very good development from Europe, especially Holland, and also from South America. The numbers are still growing, so that compensates the loss from the U.S. market.
Our Carib Nation would like to thank you for having us here, but we'd like to give you a chance to say welcome the world to Curacao, to come as tourists to come here. What would you say to the tourists?
I would like to say that Curacao is a different island. Curacao is a very beautiful island. Currently we have a campaign who says the hidden treasure of the Caribbean. So I would like to invite people from all over the world to discover this hidden treasure.
There's more to discover about Curacao when we return after this short break. Stay with us.
We are one people.
Donna Christensen,
Jamaica Kincaid,
Ethan Thomas,
Sidney Poitier,
Al Roker,
Cicely Tyson,
Malcolm X,
Monty Alexander,
Garth Fagan.
Dula Hill.
Just a few reasons to celebrate June as National Caribbean American Heritage Month.
Celebrate the rhythm of America.
Celebrate June.
National Caribbean American Heritage Month.
For more information, go to CaribbeanAmericanMonth.org.
When America wants to know what's happening in the Caribbean diaspora, there is one clear choice.
Hello, welcome to Carib Nation.
Both people inside and outside are very excited about today's program.
Looking at you, I can tell that you have traveled the journey.
One television organization brings America close to the people, stories, and events that affects Caribbean life.
Curacao is slowly making a name in the tourism industry. People from all over the world visit Curacao because of its unique beauty, magnificent landmarks, cultural history, and yes, its crystal clear water. The importance of tourism to the economy cannot be overstated. To tell us more, Carib Nations Anselmo Pontilius talks with the man responsible for the tourism industry on the island, Mr. David Dick, Curaçao's Commissioner of Tourism.
It's an honor, Mr. David Dick, as the Commissioner of Tourism. When you look at Curacao, tourism is a very important pillar. How do the audience, whether in the States, whether in the Caribbean, in Canada, why they should choose Curacao to come for their vacation?
Curacao has some unique issues that has not been discovered by many, as being a community with a very rich historical background and cultural background, where many nations, people from many nations, cultures, has been living together here for the past three and a half century. You should be able to see this in our architecture, in our way of living, our dancing, our food, which is very diversified, and give a very unique opportunity for tourism as a unique destination in the Caribbean. Unique in the sense not only of being a tourist attractive island, in the sense you can go on hotels, but you also have diversified lodging possibilities where you can have bungalows, apartments, hotels of the best qualities and still newer ones being built. At this moment we have approximately 3,500 rooms available, and we expect in the coming 3 years to 5 to be able to more than double such for your use.
Even though the global economic crisis did hit many of our countries, particularly tourism destination throughout Latin America and the Caribbean, how Curacao survived in the last 12-14 months?
Curacao has a history of being a community that throughout any world crisis we have been able to be stable. The last economic crisis that we are having, I think, where many banks and financial institutions have suffered, Curacao has been able to, would say, that nearly didn't feel any of this based on our very conservative in the sense that we are very prudent with investment. So we do it in a very prudent way, and that ensured that we did not really felt the shock of this. On the other hand, also on the tourism sector, where you expect the tourism to be declining in this after this crisis, that was not the case in Curacao. It kept a steady growth. Of course, we expected to grow more, but it was steady, still growing, and we expect, as I mentioned with you, in the coming 5 years to double our tourism to come into Curacao. We wanted a steady growth. We don't want an explosive growth. The reason why not explosive, because we want to maintain the identity of the island so we can still continue offering Curacao and not become a destination that is artificially being flavored. And we need to maintain our culture, our people, our food, our cuisines, our architecture. Next to tourism, we have some refinery, but on the other hand, all other we develop are on the clean economy. Another area which we want to develop really soon is our logistical junction. As you know, Curacao has been very well known many years for the harbor. Yes. Has been giving a very good service, well-known service throughout the Caribbean. In combination with our airport, we expect to develop this service of logistics, being able for the islands in the Caribbean, South America. That's an area where we are very much interested in developing. So also in the E-zone, where you have an economic zone for products that are not destined for Curacao, but for transfer, for retransportation, where you have special tax advantages on that.
In our last question, closing this interesting interview, what is the message of the Commissioner of Tourism of Curacao, Mr. David Dick, to the audience, whether in the United States, in Canada, or throughout the Caribbean?
We believe that Curacao is a hidden treasure for you of all. Many people does not know Curacao, but it's still one of the best kept secrets in the Caribbean. I mentioned that before. I looked at our architecture, our culture, our ability to to give you a pleasant stay on the island. We invite you to visit us. We invite you to visit us as a tourist or as an investment opportunity on a very stable community, a democratically stable political influence, a stable judicial system. As I mentioned, we have the same system that is used in the Netherlands. It's the Kingdom of the Netherlands. So we invite you once more to enjoy visiting us. That I can assure you. I can give you the guarantee that you will be pleased staying some days with us. And after this, that we can look into other possibilities. And I'm quite sure that visiting us once will encourage you to revisit the island to see all we have to offer and enjoy our people of Curacao.
It's easy to see what makes Curacao special. Exquisite beaches and spectacular diving, stunning architecture, activities and adventures for every interest, plus multicultural diversity, intriguing music, art and cuisine. Even with the increase in visitors, the Curacao tourism industry is far from what we call a fully developed one. Thus, the Tourism Board is working hard to make Curacao more competitive in the world of tourism. The only thing left for me to say is come see for yourself. Until next time, I am Paul Nehru, Tennessee, saying in local Papiamento dialect, Mashadanki.